Speaking of to-do lists.
Yes, right. And it's so funny because we made a little timeline here, and the most important thing, I did not put it in the little timeline. So within our to-do list, we had videos to make, announcement to make. So if you go to our website,
you can see all of that work.
Yes, and if you go to the blog section, you will see like an article about how Cabinet got started, and it's really, really cool. And actually, we will put the links, and actually I'm gonna write down right now because sometimes we get talking and we forgot to put about the links in the comments of the move. But and then one of the things that we did is with one of the board members, Holly Crash is one of our founders. She and I got together one night and we did in a huge erase board a whole plan with the bubbles, and yes, and there was writing, and more like
it was a brain dump.
Oh my
brain dump of everything that has to get done.
And then Holly was helping me put prices for things, and we were going on the higher side, and we're also planning on the price,
costs of what it was going to cost us to move.
Yes. And then we were also planning on the move, buying new shelves, maybe some remodel, which we did not expect there would be a full remodel. That was not in my brain at the time. Thank you, Jesus, for not telling me that was going to happen. But and then one of the things so one of the things that Kris had to do also is
measure how much space we need.
How many shelves do we need, and so on. I'm like, it's so easy, just do it. And
I just had to go through and we measured how many linear inches, which is hilarious. My husband laughed at me. He's like, "You're measuring in inches?" And it's like, well, that's our bookcases. We need to know how many for each curriculum, how many for each subject. We really broke it down, but we needed to know what are we using right now. What are we expecting to need in the future?
And then we also used that information even way before we knew where we're going to be to find out how many boxes we needed to collect.
Exactly. Well,
and and we needed to collect 600 boxes for our books alone. That's without counting the office stuff, without counting the science stuff.
That's just the curriculum.
That was only books. That was crazy.
600.
Woo! And then in November, we did our first video announcement. And, oh my gosh. And so when Holly and I did the big meeting, Holly told me, you're going to have to raise $50,000.
And $50,000?
Yeah, and I immediately, on the spot, I told her, I cannot do that.
No.
I cannot ask our families.
That can't happen.
Yeah, I cannot ask our families for that money because we don't have huge donors. All we have is homeschooling families that we serve. And so then I just went to bed, and Holly didn't pressure me. I love Holly. And she probably was thinking, God will provide, we'll figure out. So I went to bed, and the next morning, I knew that Holly was right. We needed to raise that amount of money. And I knew if we didn't, God would provide somehow. And if we did, it would be God providing. So I came in and I told the girls, this is what Holly came up, and I freaked out, but we're gonna go for it.
We're gonna go for it.
And if it happens, God will provide.
So we created a little chart, and you might remember the little bulletin board behind us on the wall, and we had the moving truck moving up, and we were just believing that God was going to provide, and He did.
Yes. And one of the other things that we did when we obviously announced the fundraising goals, and we also announced, oh my gosh, my brain forgot what I was just going to say. Announced the, I forgot. I'll go back to it.
Señora.
I'm getting old, but I'm not old.
We're not señoritas anymore.
Oh my gosh, it was important. Anyway, whatever. But so we announced all of this stuff. No, it's bugging me.
Oh well, it'll come to you in the middle of another story.
And then when we're talking about that, scared Kris to death because I'll be like, I remember, and then Kris like, I haven't, what broke? Anyway, so we did a big announcement that originally traumatizing fundraising goals, and God totally provided.
Totally.
Oh, that's your thing. We had asked you guys for tips, and that was really important because we needed your help to help us figure out where we would be going. And through some of those tips, I connected with a girl, not only a future location, but with the daughter-in-law of one of my friends who works with nonprofits. So as I was sharing everything that had been happening, and by the time I talked to her, it had only been like a month and a half after the announcement, and we had already raised, I don't know if it was the 50,000 or really close to the 50,000.
It was close because we ended,
It was crazy because we ended up going over the 50,000.
We did go over.
Oh my gosh. So I told her that, and I was telling her everything we were doing, and even if we don't know anything about fundraiser, about a moving campaign, about anything.
Right, because we're just homeschool moms.
Yeah. So we know how to learn, we know how to research,
right?
But really,
but we're not experts in this field.
But she confirmed that we were doing so many things right, and the other thing that we knew that God provides so much, because she told me, for organization the size of our organization, to raise that amount of money in like a month and a half does not usually happen.
Completely unheard of, right? Yeah, so that's just a great testimony of letting, being faced with this insurmountable challenge and just really letting God lead us, because we had no skills in this area of creating these kinds of campaigns and stuff, and it was totally just God making sure that we're where we're supposed to be.
Yes, and it was amazing because it was such a peace in our hearts. I cried.
I'm just gonna cry.
I know, I'm a crier. Anyway, it was just amazing because I had no idea how much money we would raise, but I knew we would be okay. It was just so amazing.
Right.
So then we started looking for the facilities. Our search committee started.
Woo, we had a search committee. We searched and searched
and then we ended up deciding with and the church was also calling us Sovereign Grace Bible Church. Was the first church we visited, and it was the last one also because it was it.
Well, what was so amazing was we were doing our due diligence in creating the search committee and just exploring all the options. But right at the very beginning, we had one of Karen's students come in and go, I know where you're going to move. I got the perfect place.
My church.
Yes, you're moving to my church.
Yeah, and that was
and we're like, okay, we'll add it to the list.
And then I think it was a middle school student, and then there was another elementary kid who also goes to that church, and they told Karen the same thing.
Same thing.
It's like, you're coming to my church.
Yeah.
And we did. Sovereign Grace is amazing, and we visited so many churches. It was just amazing. God totally provided. And then we're also going to put in a link, the Spilling the Beans video. Yes. So Kris made her husband wonder what happens to Cabinet when she brought a huge tub of beans, all the beans that she had in her house.
I have a weird family that likes to cook beans with ham hock and just eat beans. I'm like, okay. So I have this huge container of beans at home, and I brought it, and we spilled them everywhere.
The beans. Yeah, that was so much fun. And that was because we were trying, once Sovereign Grace had been chosen, our board needed to approve it. And of course, all those formalities that just have to happen. The church had to meet with our board and do the tour and says, yes, this is it. And not only the search committee, but our board members. So we knew it was going to happen because we just but we couldn't spill the beans, and we were like, we were suffering. We were like, oh, so you guys found a location? I was like, so it was. We were.
It was a little tormenting.
It was a little tormenting, and we had mini spillages, but we never spilled the name or the address. So we had to bring the beans to spill them. So we'll put the link. That was such a really fun announcement. So then after spilling the beans, we have a little list here that we're looking at. And the other beautiful way that God provided us is pre-COVID, the church was already planning to do some remodeling.
Right. That was just part of the perfect
Yes.
situation
Yeah.
here. So they were already working to do
Yeah.
some remodeling. So they just
Yeah, but they had postponed it because they had saved the funds, but they thought now that COVID hit, we don't know how our families are going to be doing. So they decided to postpone it so they could have those funds available to help some of their families as needed.
Right.
And it ended up being they only had like 2 families that needed assistance. So then by the time we came along, almost a year later, they were going to move forward, and they just tag along our project.
Yeah, they
because
just connected right in.
Yes, because this building that we're in right now, it looks so beautiful and so new because it is practically new.
It is. You can see all those photos of what it looked like before.
Yeah. It had been abandoned for 20 years.
Yeah.
It was such a perfect place for us because it used to be a library from the former Grace Christian School.
Yes! I came here. But we actually met the librarian.
Oh, that's
that
right.
was here. Yeah, the librarian that was in here that did a lot of the, like built our little fishbowl. We call the fishbowl and the counter and stuff. That was fun.
Yeah, and we didn't change any of that because it is so perfect for a bookstore, for a homeschool resource center. And then she also left a little card catalog. I mean, the church. It was left here by the school. So she actually was looking for a book. So she came and looked in the old catalog that she herself created.
Oh,
yes.
I know all these labels. It was so fun.
So you can actually bring your kids on a field trip to learn what we used to do before Google.
The Google, or the online catalog.
Yes.
That's pretty fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then the construction started, and our building was tagged. Hello, Mr. Mailman. Our building was tagged to the addition of the construction that the church was doing. So we didn't have to find contractors. They had to. The roof was ceiling, not the roof. The ceiling was falling apart. All the electrical needed to be upgraded. The flooring, we took care of the flooring, needed to be fixed. We also took care of the painting, new lighting, new fans.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, there was so much work to do. Oh yeah, and this used to have a cooler. So,
Right. There was no air conditioner on this building.
Yeah, back in the day.
So we put on 2.
Yeah, we have 2 air conditioning units. But the funny thing is that SRP did not have enough electricity coming to this building.
Yeah, that 1950s construction. It's not, it wasn't suitable for traditional air conditioning.
Yeah, so that created more delays and then more permits, more whatever.
And all those videos are on.
It's really fun.
Yeah, they're on. I'll put on a link. I think they're on the YouTube still.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys can look through that because it went from a dusty mess made up of like a messy storage, huge room.
Well, you can see you can see the video of the big trenches that they had to dig.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Those trenches right behind where we are. Yeah, it was amazing. So first we thought we would be moving by June. So obviously that got delayed. So then we thought that we would be having the PSAT here because the auditorium was also getting remodeled. Well, we couldn't use auditorium, but we used other areas of Sovereign Grace. So we did have the PSAT here, but we still weren't open. So then we thought December. So we actually made the decision, no matter what, we are closing at our old location and we'll reopen. So first we thought, I think it was like January 10th. That was a tentatively open date. Yeah. And the funny thing...
We pushed it back a couple weeks.
Yeah, we did push it back. We had to. But the funny thing with the construction delays is that we started having a moving cell. And then we're like, do you pause the moving cell? Well,
the eternal moving cell.
So we just gave up. We had what we called an eternal moving cell.
The eternal moving cell, yeah.
And then once we moved here, we ended up having the semi-eternal work list. Yeah, we still have items that have to move back. So stuff that we'll probably, hopefully finish working on during our Christmas break. Well, not quite. Anyway, so that was super fun. So we ended up getting ideas to move early. So Chris and I borrowed my brother's trailer, remember?
Yes.
And we moved all the office stuff ourselves. And the church was very generous. They let us use some rooms that they have around here as extra
storage stuff. Yeah.
So then when I was just sharing with my family, you know, hey, we're gonna be moving, and the moving truck. And I was like, where's the moving truck? Oh, did you borrow my trailer? Oh yeah, we moved the office stuff after. So we asked for some volunteers and whatever. Well, moving boxes of books is really heavy, and in December too is not a great time because everybody's busy with Christmas. So we got I think it was my brother, Dwan, myself. I don't know if there was somebody else. Anyway, so we started moving the books, which you know, we thought, oh, it'll be so easy. Anyway, we filled up the trailer, and it didn't even look like we made a dent.
Little tiny dent, yeah.
So then my brother looked at me and he says, "Get the moving truck." so that. Yeah.
Oh, this is a lot of work. Get moving.
Yeah. So we moved. Oh yeah, we had his pickup, also the trailer, and so we actually had a nice chunk of books. I think we didn't even get to 100 boxes, and
right,
and
already
we moved
here
in
before.
another storage. Yeah. And then when we realized it was going to become even later, the church allowed us to use another space to hold all our bookshelves. So we moved. That was your family, my family, my neighbor. Yeah, my neighbor, your kids, and I forgot who else came for that.
I can't
but
remember.
thank you, Keith and Laurie.
I know. Thank you so much.
Yes,
We
and
moved all the bookcases that we had.
Yes. So all that was left literally was only
The books.
600, well, not probably, a little over 500 boxes of books. Yeah, so all the other stuff was out, and then it kept getting delayed. But we just have to thank all our volunteers because they came through, and then...
The packing party was fabulous.
Oh, the packing party in December.
Party. Oh my gosh. I think I have a video of that. I wonder if it's on the YouTube.
Yeah.
What are those called? The fast...
Yes.
Fast motion. Anyway.
Yeah. And
that was fun.
It was amazing because all of those packers, they listened to the instructions and they did everything that we asked them the way that they did. So we had labels, color-coded labels for each subject.
Yeah.
And we tried to keep them as close together as we could.
Because we were switching from the way that it was organized at the old location, which was by publisher, and we were moving it in here by subject.
That's right.
So we wanted to put all the subjects together, and we had all the boxes labeled with the subject, a color code, and a number.
Yeah, and the publisher. So books one of math, pretty much starting whatever grade level it was. So then, oh my gosh, thank you, all those volunteers. And then in January, we did have to hire movers because nobody wanted to live
to volunteer to move the
yeah, and we don't blame you. We don't blame you.
No.
And it was actually much better decision to have professional movers move because that was a lot, and I could boss them because I saw the labels. I was like, that one there, that one there, that one there.
I think I have video of that too.
Yeah.
But they brought them in and they put them in an area. It just made everything go so smoothly.
Yes. And then, so that was the morning of, the Thursday before we got the moving truckers, our volunteers built our new shelves. So all of the shelves that you cannot see, they're anyway, all of those.
Because we had to buy, because we had all the ones that we moved over from the location, and then we had to purchase, like, how many more did we purchase?
I don't even remember right now.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, we purchased them early on, but we actually hadn't delivered because it would have not fit in our neither of our.
Yeah, but we had to put them together, so we had volunteers that come, and
they did amazingly.
Yeah,
and they were
together,
teenagers.
and then we got them all put they're attached together. Got them all over.
So it's nice and safe.
Yeah,
it's very safe. Yeah. So all of that happened on the Thursday, and then the Friday morning it was the movers, and then the Friday afternoon, our volunteers with the color-coded stuff, they started putting stuff in the shelves.
Unpacking. It went so fast. It was so organized.
Yes.
So
I cannot believe we were like lean, mean machines.
Yep.
And I think you were helping in math section, and I was floating all over the place, and it was amazing. We ended up having a huge fort just outside with the boxes and the crates.
All the 600 empty boxes and crates.
600 empty boxes and crates.
One of the kids that was here, he built like a little fort.
Timmy,
it was so fun.
He did an amazing job because he cut all the boxes and built a fort at the same time. It was, we asked we asked parents not to bring children, but if the child was mature enough to help, we trusted the parent to we didn't argue, and thank you for that. And I am one of those parents who would have had a child that was not mature enough. So it's not an insult, just a reality. Yeah, we were pretty firm about the children stuff. We really wanted to avoid that, and it was amazing. Everybody was great. And then Saturday we had everything was up on that Friday. We couldn't believe it, And then Kris and I also went because she had done all that little inch by inch measurements. Oh my gosh! So I have to tell you guys, I cannot thank Kris so much for doing that. And when she was done, her eyes were red. I mean, I remember coming in from the other building because I had been doing something else. I can't remember, so I did not see her doing all this mental work. But when she looked at me and she told me what we would need, I mean, she was like so exhausted. So thank
that
you.
was at the other building.
At the other building. Yes, at the beginning of the whole process.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, but here it actually wasn't that hard. Once all our volunteers put the shelves up, they left, and we started taping the labels. This is where the math is going to go. A Becca. Then you need to leave enough, a little bit of space for growth and whatever, because we did give out a lot of free books and stuff like that. So we knew that we're going to need more space. And then this is where the next section starts, and whatever. Our volunteers were amazing.
And it just worked out perfectly. I mean, the reason we did all the measuring was because we needed to know how much space we're going to actually, how many bookcases we needed to purchase, and where are they going to go, and how are we going to organize it, and is it going to fit, and it was
exhausting.
It was exhausting, but all the pre-work really made the move and the transition so much easier.
Yes, and I actually not say it was exhausting. It was after the fact, because we had a lot of recovering to do. But while it was
still recovering.
But while it was happening, everything was just falling into place. So one funny thing is that I went to Kris's house. I believe it was the Wednesday before all of this started, and we worked all day long just planning the designs, where everything was going to go and stuff like that. And right I was leaving her house, I looked down, I had mismatched shoes on. I have no idea how I did that. It's like, I was like, Kris, look at my shoes! They don't even match! So you can tell where my brain was. It was pretty funny.
That was fun.
Yeah. So we told you about the Saturday, and then that Monday was our we had a mini group. I think we only had like 5 people here, and that was the final detailing, and then getting ready for our first open. And our first day open was Tuesday, January 25th of 2021.
I know.
We were so excited. Oh my gosh. And then Kathy wasn't able to join us during the pre-start.
2022.
2022. Yes. 2022.
Like 2021.
Yeah. And those annoying things of life. So Kathy ended up getting the light case of COVID, so she wasn't able to come during all the prep. But I think by the time Tuesday hit, she was able to come, and it was so amazing to be here, all of us team members together on the first day. Yay! And then we had a party on the 28th with balloons.
Oh, that was so much fun. Yes. Oh, the kids loved the face painting.
Oh my gosh.
And we had cake.
Yeah, cake.
Oh, and candy.
Yes. Yes, and the balloons. It was, oh my gosh. And everybody that came in. Oh, the curtains. So we had curtains. Kris ordered fabric with our logo, and my mom made the curtains.
Oh, the curtains are
they're so pretty. Yeah, so all the families that came to celebrate with us that week, and specifically on the day of our party, which was on Friday, they just came in and they were like, oh, this is so big!
I know, it just seems so different and so bright and
so
clean
open,
and
and we will never stop thanking First Reformed Presbyterian Church or Phoenix Reformed Presbyterian Church for hosting us those 20 years. And now, God provided that, and now God provided a new home with Sovereign Grace Bible Church, and they're so amazing. They're so homeschool friendly, and it's wonderful being here.
It is.
So we get to celebrate again.
I know, going to party again.
Yeah. So it's been so busy, and it has creeped up so fast. So it's not really last minute because we're doing more than a month ahead of time. But we are going to have a party.
We are.
And this party, we're actually doing it on Thursday. And we're already choosing Thursday because we already had a few events going on that date. So we're tagging the party to that. So it's going to be on Thursday, January 26th. From 12 to 3 p.m.
Yep. From 12 to 3, not all day.
Yes.
But we're going to have
balloons!
Free balloons! balloons. All the kids
balloons.
love the free balloons.
Yes.
And what
Free
else did we do?
face painting.
Face painting. The kids loved that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And so we're also, one of the things that we normally do, well, we started
a couple
doing-
months ago.
Yeah, with story time,
time.
which is the first Tuesday of each month, but
Yes.
we're going to do another one.
Yeah, so
for
we're
the
having
party.
2 story times
That month,
in
yeah.
January.
So if you have younger kids, we haven't picked a book yet, have we?
I have not picked a book. I was actually
You
thinking.
need to do that.
Yeah, I need to pick one. Well, we just decided. So our January story time is going to be
The napping.
the napping house. So this is the one that's going to be on the first Tuesday that we're open, which I forgot what the day is, but it's in the newsletter, and we can also put it in the notes, and it's in our website. So this is the book that we're in, the napping house,
Big house.
And
Okay, so
my
it's going to
kids
be
love
it's actually going to, it's not the first Tuesday, it's the second, so it's going to be the 10th.
Yeah, the first
Because we
we're
weren't
open.
going to be open, because we're normally closed
Oh,
that first week in
that's
January,
right.
but we're going to be open.
Yeah.
So, but the story time is the 10th, the napping
January
house.
And at 10 in the morning.
And there's a little coloring craft that goes with it.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
It's all on our website.
And then during our celebration on January 26th, we're also going to have another story time at 1 p.m. And I haven't chosen the book. So I was thinking, I don't know, just a fun story. I'm sure there's a really great story about something really special that God provides and everybody's so grateful. I don't know what. Maybe
We'll
it'll just
find
be a
something.
fun book. Just a fun kids book.
So that day also, what
We're
we
doing
also
that.
have scheduled, Karen has our wonderful science teacher. She has her biology class that day.
In the morning?
In the morning. So after that, we're having our GCU live lesson. So if you haven't seen any of those, you need to go to our website and look at those. Those are great.
Yeah, those are for high school students, and we encourage everyone to sign up. We have several
Yeah.
of them scheduled.
They're free. They're
They're
totally free. And what's really great is Grace is the homeschool liaison at GCU. She provides lunch
Yes, she
for the
does.
students. So she's going to buy pizza.
Pizza.
So the
But,
kids get to have pizza and then do a GCU live lesson.
Yeah.
And this month is strawberry DNA.
Very cool.
They're going to be extracting strawberry DNA. This is so fun. I did
Yes.
this once at the Science Center. It's
Uh-huh.
so cool. Yeah.
Yes. So the pizza, just to be clear, is only for the high school students that
Right.
are participating in the GCU
In the
Live.
GCU Live.
Yeah. So that would be.
But
for
that'll
them.
be that day also.
That's right. But we will have refreshments for the afternoon from 12 to 3. We have some refreshments planned. So there'll be treats for those that sign up. But the pizza is only for the high schoolers. And then after Karen has a little bit of a break from her morning class,
Oh, she's coming over here.
everybody loves Karen.
Yeah.
So in our old location, when our bookstore was kind of connected to her classroom, she loved having kids in there and showing them science stuff. So that was one of the favorite things for the kids to do. Well, we're going to have science with Karen.
Science with Karen starting at what? 1:30.
1:30 to 3 p.m.
Yeah, so here in the bookstore.
In the bookstore.
Yeah, I don't know what she's going to do yet, but
It's gonna be
find out.
cool.
It's going to be so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, because Karen knows everything about science, and she loves kids, and she does really
And this will
cool
probably
stuff.
be for the elementary, middle school aged.
Yeah. Yep. So it's gonna be super fun, and obviously the face painting will be going on at the same time. So if you have a kid that wants face painting but doesn't want to do science, there you go. Your
There
kids
you
will
go.
be doing something. And then, in order to celebrate, too, we're gonna have a spin the wheel. Oh,
Yes, here's our
there's a
wheel.
nice spinning wheel.
So it has all Janet's.
My little
Her
be
notes.
pretty. They will not be sticky notes. Woo! So you can win up to 40% of used books, then used books plus a free
And a
homeschooling
free T-shirt. Yeah.
You know,
And
so
everybody gets to spin the wheel, and then you get your discount.
that's right. Yeah. And so the smallest discount is 20% of used books. The biggest discount would be 40%.
Yeah.
So no matter what, everybody's gonna get a discount on our used books. And for the new books, master books is always 20% off, and the rest of the new books we have to follow the rules of the vendor. So I don't
Right.
think we're having sales that day, but we'll find out what we can sneak in.
Right.
And then what else? And then always no tax at cabinets, and no shipping, obviously, because our books are here. Anyway, so we just have to say thank you to all volunteers that help us there, here. We had a prayer team, people praying for us all the time. Yeah, it was a lot, and there was such a peace.
It was.
You know,
it was.
there was no doubting.
And it moved. I mean, everything just worked so perfectly. It did not seem like there was a lot of obstacles or bad things or you know, just, you know how when you're planning a big event like this, sometimes catastrophe happens.
Yeah, no.
It really wasn't like that at all. Everything went smoothly. We were well planned. We were really
well planned.
And we were well prayed up.
Yes.
I think we spent, like you said, we had the volunteers just constantly.
Yeah, we had a prayer team. It was. I think that's probably why there was so much peace. The prep and the prayers, and it was amazing.
It really was.
And then, actually, we skipped one section somewhere in there. But, the blessings. So we have had all the blessings of being here, all the space, all the encouragement, being able to help so many new homeschoolers.
That has been incredible. Because there was, you know, especially during COVID,
oh my gosh,
you know, it exploded with people who were needing help. And we're still seeing a lot of that that's continued into now. So,
totally.
And our greatest joy is to be able to help those new homeschoolers that just come through our door. So, and we appreciate you for sending them our way.
Send them our way. Yeah, and I think our location, we had outgrown it so much that we were adding shelves wherever we could, and it really was a little mini maze. And it became sometimes a little bit too small. So we've heard
a little claustrophobic.
Yes, and we have heard that people that came here, they said, okay, I kind of stopped going because it was just too tight, and now this is so much more comfortable. So if you haven't been here, it is worth the drive. If you live in Queen Creek, it's only 10 minutes more. We used to have and we still have a lot of families that come from the East Valley. But sometimes we get an email from family.
We had a Tucson,
they come. Yeah, we have people come from Flagstaff. It really is worth the drive. Make it a filter. Make it your one-day event, because that's what we hear of families that get here. Was like, wow, I wish I would have come sooner, because it really is worth the drive. Plus, you get to save a lot of money with the used books. You don't pay taxes. You don't have to pay shipping, and being able to, you actually save money looking at the books, because you don't accidentally buy the wrong book.
Well, and that's the thing too. You get to actually compare, because sometimes you don't know what you want. It's like, is this one better? Or is this one better? And here you get to like open them up and compare them.
And the other thing, that's the other blessing, and this happened in February, early February, we had met the families that run Rainbow Homeschool Resource. And they started, we do pay for the shipping and stuff like that, but they started shipping us at our location. They're all scratch and dent. So since we were going to be moving, we asked them for the next shipment. We only got one shipment before COVID, and then during COVID, they were ready to send us another shipment. So we thought we were going to be moving. So we're like, not yet. But it kept getting postponed. And one of the blessings was their patience to us, because I think they started thinking, where are we taking all of these books? It ended up becoming five pallets.
There's that video too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It ended up becoming 5 pallets. And then we, my daughter just called me, so I saw her picture and got distracted. So I'm like, turn the phone over, because I'm highly distractible. Anyway, so and the other blessing was, we thought we were going to have to move in June. Well, the sale got postponed a little bit, so then it became July, then August, then September, and then December. So we never found ourselves without a home. We were able to stay at our location as long as we needed it, and it was amazing. So we thank God for that, and think that our location also, all church hosts were letting us stay as long as we did. Anyway, so we moved the 5 pallets of books, and they fit in here, in this thing, resource center, and we still were able to move. I mean, it did take a lot of space, but we were able to move around, and there was no crowdiness. Our customers were still comfortable, and we worked pretty hard to get it as fast as we could.
That was great.
I'm like, I imagine it would take 2 weeks. It took more like a month. It was like, oh, we'll be done with this in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
No, but we still have to help the new families that we left to do. So anyway, so we've had so many blessings. Thankful to Sovereign Grace, to all our volunteers, to all their family, to Rainbow for shipping us.
They're going to have another shipment soon, I'm sure.
But anyway, so anything else before we say goodbye?
I don't know.
Yes, thank you. Keep praying for us. You know, it's been amazing. We've grown. We were grown up in our own location too, but we said as an organization we have grown up more because now we have grown up rent, and stuff like that. So obviously electricity costs more to cool a place this size, and God has provided, and the best way to provide is by telling your friends to come here to shop here, and also let us fulfill our ministry by helping and encouraging new homeschoolers. And then if you're experienced and you don't need our help, come and shop here, because that's what keeps our ministry going. So anyway, so just keep praying for us that we're able to continue fulfilling our ministry, and come and celebrate with us during our first year party.
The 26th, come.
Okay, bye guys. You guys have a marvelous Christmas time.